Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you are doing great and learning this language great way. So friends, in today's video, I want to tell you, actually I want to force you for speaking English. You know what, friends? Do you have such kind of problem that whenever you try to speak, you just get stuck? You just start fumbling? So what is the reason behind this? Actually, have you ever thought that you know all the grammar rules, you have such kind of vocabulary, you have lots of vocabulary, you have good collection of vocabulary, but still you are not able to speak in English? What is the reason behind this? And what you can do to just get rid of this problem? You know what? So stick with this video till then and I will tell you what is the main reason behind this. Actually, first of all, you need to understand that why you are not able to speak in English, friends, because you never try to speak. See, if you have been a Hindi medium student, then you can relate this, that whenever if you are in still in your school days and you are in Hindi medium, then you can relate that we always treat, I used to treat English as a subject. I never tried that. Yes, of course I can speak English. On those days, I still remember whenever I saw the people who speak in English, I just feel, oh, I wish I could speak in English. But I never try. On that time, I never used to try that. Yes, of course, if someone is speaking English, then I can, of course. But still, I know, I still remember that I never used to try to speak English. So that's why I was not able to speak in English. But uh, actually, I still remember on those days when I was in class 7, then I always used to think that how it could be possible that people speak in English. Even I am not able to cram the a question and answer in English, because so you can just understand that how pathetic my English grammar and English was on that time, because I always used to think that uh, anyhow I can learn my English reader. So that's why you can understand what was my condition on that day. I can say that in my school days, I always treat English as a subject, not a language. I never, in fact, nobody was there who can tell me that you can, of course, you can speak in English. English is a language, you can communicate, and you should try to speak in English. So that's why I was not able to speak English in my school days. And of course, we don't have such kind of environment, such kind of surrounding where people speak in English. If I would talk about that, if you are in a village area, then you don't have such kind of environment, and so that you are not able to speak English. It is not your fault actually. But now in this era, you have, I know everyone has their own mobile phone. So in this era, you can learn English, and without spending any rupees, without spending any money, you can learn English easily by social media, by your phone. There are so many apps, there are so many uh, uh, things by using that you can start your English speaking journey, and of course you can learn it. So it is just about, I was just telling you that how you can start your English speaking journey and how why you are not able to speak English. So what is the main reason? Actually, we all, if I would talk about myself, in my initial days, I used to just listen. I have already told you, in my initial days, I used to just listen and never try to speak. I just used to do passive things and not active things, because if you are speaking, then you will be able to speak English. So I would say just start speaking. Don't think about how much mistakes you are doing and how much grammatically error you are doing and how much vocabulary you know, how much uh, uh, English rules you know. You have to just try to speak in English, because you know what, if you have thought that English is not for you, you cannot speak English, because you don't have such kind of environment, such kind of surrounding. You don't have any partner to speak in English. So how come it possible that you can speak English? So you are thinking just a wrong thing. I would say you are thinking wrong, because actually when I had started, I had no partner on that time. but still I can speak English because I have learned it, and by myself, and just by using YouTube. I have never tried any application in my initial days. I'm just talking about my initial days. So you know what? By listening and by speaking, now I am able to speak English. In my initial days, I never used to try to read any book, but still, now I would say that you can read, and of course, you should try to read at least 1 to 2 pages daily. I would not say that you have to just read book so many pages, but because if you are a beginner, then if you are trying to speak in English, and if you are just writing 1 page and reading 1 to 2 pages and listening, if you are listening 30 minutes to 1 hour, then it is enough if you are a beginner. Friends, if you are a beginner, then you don't have to think about that how much grammatical error you are making, and you don't have to think then that people will make fun of you if you are making lots of mistakes. So I would recommend you one thing, that you have to just start speaking English. No matter what are you speaking, you can start by your daily routine. Like, I woke up in the morning at 5 a.m., then after what I did, and whatever you have done, you just have to try to speak from yourself, and you have to just start before you have to just standing before mirror, and you have to try to explain your daily routine, whatever you have done in your whole days. शुरू शुरू में आपको ये बहुत हार्ड टास्क हो सकता है, बट इफ़ यू आर डूइंग इट कंटिन्यूसली, देन इट विल बिकम योर हैबिट. ये आपका हैबिट बन जाएगा कि जैसे आप सुबह उठते हैं, ब्रश करने के बाद खाना खाना ही है, स्कूल जाना है, सो ऐसे ही ये डेली रूटीन बन जाएगा कि हमें इंग्लिश बोलना ही है, इंग्लिश सीखना ही है. एटलीस्ट 1 hour you have to give the time for you speaking and writing as well. So I would recommend you that if you are in your initial phase, you don't have anything about English, then how it could be possible that you can speak? The main topic was why you are not able to speak in English. Even you know grammar rules, you know all the vocabulary, you have such type of vocabulary. So still, why you are not able to speak English? That was the topic, because you never try to speak. Okay, just ask to yourself that have you ever thought that you should speak in English? No, you have never thought that of course you can speak in English, because you just think whenever you see the people whoever speak in English, you just think, I wish I could speak in English, but you never try. Whenever you will try, of course you can. So I would just say that if you are speaking, and if you have thought that of course I have to start, why I'm not able to speak English? If someone can, then of course I can. Then you will not only learn grammar rules, but also you will try to speak. And whenever you will try to speak, then of course you can learn English. To be honest, I would say I have not prepared any such kind of script for this video. But still I am able to speak in English in front of you all. Whatever things is coming in my mind, I'm just trying to speak. I'm just delivering it. You know what? Whenever you will try to speak, then of course it is hard things. Actually, in my starting days, I would say, in my starting days, I don't know, but after 3 months, still I was not able to speak English in any topic. Even a little bit English I can understand, I could understand actually on that time. But what actually I did for this, I never ever lost my hope. On that time when I had started, I was not able to speak in English. Even same problem I was facing, I was always thinking that why I'm not able to speak English. I know all the grammar rules. I know the modal verbs, infinitive, gerund. I have such kind of vocabulary. I have lots of vocabulary. then still I am not able to speak in English. Why? What is the reason behind this? And then I found that I never tried to speak. So how it could be possible that I can speak in English? And then I realized that if you want to do something, then you will have to do. If you are just thinking that you can speak English, then it is not possible. And not only by knowing the process, that how can, if you are thinking that if you know how to speak in English, but you never try to speak, then you will not able to speak until you will not try to speak. This is the main. If you are sitting in the room and you are using your mobile phone and you are listening any videos, any people who are speaking in English, and you are just thinking that I wish I could speak, but you never try to speak, you are not giving your effort for speaking English, then you will not able to speak in English. So remember that if you want to speak in English, then you will have to speak. Because if you are just thinking that I know I can, I can speak English because of I know the grammar rules, I know the vocabulary, I know all the rules. And if you are not speaking from your mouth, then you will not able to speak in English. You never try to speak English. You just learn all the grammar rules. If I would talk about that you have to start your English speaking journey from today onwards, then what you will think? Then okay, I am a beginner. चलो लेट्स डू, चलो क्या करते हैं, हम इंग्लिश ग्रामर रूल्स को पढ़ना शुरू कर देते हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल स्टार्ट करते हैं प्रेजेंट इंडेफिनिट से और फ्यूचर परफेक्ट कॉन्टिन्यूअस तक कंप्लीट कर देते हैं. एंड देन हम एबल हो जाएंगे इंग्लिश बोलने के लिए. नो, you will not able to speak English, even you will not trying. If you are not try, that you will not able to speak in English. So mark my words, if you want to speak in English, then you will have to speak. If you are just thinking that by listening you can learn English, then of course you can learn English. But if it comes to speak, then you will not able to speak English. Of course it makes that you will be able to speak. You can be a good writer, of course, if you are listening and if you are reading. But if you are not trying to speak from your mouth, then you will not learn. Okay, so it is said always that if you want to do something, then you will have to do something. जैसे कि आपको इंग्लिश बोलना है तो आपको इंग्लिश बोलना पड़ेगा. There is no any other option without this. If you are thinking that if you can learn English grammar rules, English vocabulary, and then you will be able to speak in English, then you are thinking wrong. There are so many things by using that you can be a good English speaker actually. Okay, first of all, what you can do, if you are a true beginner, you don't know anything about English, how to start, where to start, then just start by English grammar rules. Just try to learn English grammar rules, and after this, whatever vocabulary you know, if you know all the, I think, basic words, like if you have studied in any school, like if you have studied in Hindi medium or in English medium, you can't say that whoever English medium student, they can speak English fluently. No, it is not. Actually, I have seen lots of people who have studied in English medium and still they are not able to speak in English. So it is a myth actually. Nowadays, I know in the school and college, not college actually, in schools, it is required, it is mandatory that if you are not speaking English, then आपके ऊपर फाइन लग जाएगा, 50 rupees का फाइन हो जाएगा. So that's why boys and girls always used to speak in English, even they are kids, but still they are speaking in English nowadays. But when I was in school, it was not like this. एंड एक्चुअली आई बीन अ हिंदी मीडियम स्टूडेंट, देन ये तो सोचना भी नहीं था. सो if you are starting your English speaking journey and you are thinking, then you don't have to think that you have to become a good English speaker, right? Like you don't have to become a lecturer. Actually you have to just start speaking. जैसे आप हिंदी बोलते हैं वैसे आपको इंग्लिश बोलना है कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, कि आपसे कोई कुछ इंग्लिश में पूछ रहा है या फिर आपको इंग्लिश में बोलना है, किसी से कम्युनिकेशन करना है, कम्युनिकेट करना है एक्चुअली, तो आप अच्छे से बोल पाएँ. ये नहीं कि आपको बहुत अच्छा सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर आना चाहिए, एडवांस इंग्लिश पहुंच रहे हैं कि आपको लेक्चर देना है कहीं पब्लिक में. नो, आपको ऐसा नहीं सोचना है. यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दिस. यू हैव टू जस्ट स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग with simple sentences, simple words. Simple English is enough. Mark my words. Yes, of course. And you have seen that I always use simple words, simple vocabulary, because I always make the video for beginner. Actually, I don't want that whatever I have faced that you will face. So that's why I always make the video in the simple words and simple vocabulary. You know what? Why I always force to speak in English? Because you know what? I know many of you wants to speak in English, but you are not able to speak English, and you always think that how you can speak in English. So I always force and I always try to motivate you that of course you can. And how? By speaking. And of course, if you don't know anything about English, then you will not able to speak English. So that's why I always say that by using simple grammar and by learning simple grammar, you can try to speak in English. So it is the main things that if you are trying to speak in English, then of course you have to learn basic grammar rules, and then just after this you have to try to speak. Because if you are not trying and if you are just learning grammar rules, then you will never ever be able to speak in English. So if you want to speak, then you will have to speak. I am repeating again and again. Actually, there are so many things which I want to share with you, whatever I have faced, and I will tell you, one by one. You know what? If you are speaking, then just try to record yourself. I always say that recording is important, because if you are recording yourself, then you can see yourself that how you are speaking and what are the things, what are mistakes you are doing. So if you are recording, then you can learn better. And what you can record, see, just try to speak your daily routine, like whatever you did in your days, just try to utilize, try to just write down in your copy and try to speak in front of camera or in front of mirror in the night. And if you are doing it daily by daily, then you will see, of course it will not in one days you cannot see the change, but after some days I would say that of course you can see drastic change in yourself, and that change you will never ever believe that, oh, this is me, and now I can speak in English. When I had started, I was not able, but now I have done it. And you will feel proud on yourself. Because why I am saying this? Because I have felt this. Okay friends, that's all about this video. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.